All right, so here again we have parentheses, so we say to ourselves it's chain rule time, excuse me. So the inner function is going to be equal to cosine x squared. And that leaves our outer function as sine x. So if we take the derivative of sine, we get cosine. We keep the inner fixed at cosine x squared. Okay, so this is our outer derivative, and then keep the inner fixed. Now we need to multiply that by the derivative of the inner. Now the derivative of the inner is cosine x squared. And if you look at cosine x squared and you superimpose the parentheses, you have a parenthesis around this x squared. So because you have a parenthesis around that x squared, we need to use the chain rule for that as well. So we will take the derivative of the outer, which is cosine, so that's going to be a negative sine, keep the inner fixed at x squared, times the derivative of the inner. The inner again is x squared, so times 2x. So again, when we're taking this derivative of the inner here, we're not really thinking about anything else. We're just thinking about how do I take the derivative of cosine x squared. That's a chain rule question because we have parentheses. Outer is cosine, so we have negative sine. Keep the inner fixed, multiply by the derivative of the inner. Now, before we move to try to combine this with what we had before on the derivative of the outer, let's go ahead and put the trig at the end. So we have negative times 2x and then sine x squared. And you can put the parentheses, or you can avoid or just drop the parentheses, and that's fine. Now, that is being multiplied by cosine x squared. Okay, so now we want to move all of the trig mess to the end, and so we'll move this negative 2x to the front as a coefficient. So this will be negative 2x cosine x squared times sine x squared, and that is our simplified derivative.